fair rainy Thursday here in Accra. I don't know what the situation is at your end, but whatever it is, please stay safe. Welcome to another session of interactivity here on JoyNews. We are live from digital address GA0992539. So from its coming home to we are coming home, that's the story of the English team. Well, they have to contend with Belgium for the bronze medal as they failed to qualify for the final of Russia 2018, and government says the University of Ghana Medical Center will be open soon from the 18th of this month. And a stalwart passes on, former senior minister J.H. Mensa is dead. We'll be talking about all these. Join the conversation on Facebook and Twitter. We are JoyNews on TV. And we are also live on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 144. I am Benis Abu Beidu. Now let's start with the hospital issue. Well, recently we heard about no bed crisis, and now we are learning that as a result of a directive by the Minister of Health, all these hospitals in the country that used to turn patients away with the excuse that there was no bed have to admit them. Recently, my colleague Maxwell Agbaba visited the Kolibu Teaching Hospital, and what he saw was nothing to write home about. The doctors say they have no option but to obey the directive, so they're taking care of people in plastic chairs and on the bare floor. Well, a lot of you have been sharing your thoughts with us as government says that the University of Ghana Medical Center will be open soon, and this is to, hopefully ease the pressure on existing health facilities. And a lot of you have been sharing your thoughts with us. And Elizabeth Barb says, I hope there are enough beds and not plastic chairs. Another issue that we have to contend with. Some of the health practitioners tell us we have space, but there are no beds. Rafiat, is actually tagging someone there and says, oh, nice, I'm applying ASAP. And Eagle Agbuada says, at long last. Samson Morty says, at long last, the GMC is open more beds for patients. Okay, it's not open yet. We'll be open hopefully sometime next week. Araba Boko says, touch wood, they can open by then. Adra is just shaking her head. Asempa Thelma chooses to thank God and says, to God be the glory. I'm sure you mean to type, not to God be the glory. So some good news there, but it's not only our health facilities that are suffering from, lack of attention and investment. Let's talk about bad roads and the politicization of it. I'm sure you remember when President Mahamas and then candidate Akufo-Addo were throwing jabs at each other over bad nature of roads. Well, Mr. Akufo-Addo chided then President Mahamas for telling lies that he had had some roads fixed recently. Then President Mahamas retorted that, well, maybe he didn't see those roads because he was sleeping on journeys. Well, recently the president has visited the Volta region and he has a reply for former President Mahamas. Well, the pictures on your screen are from the president's recent visit to the Volta region, and he used a portion of the Eastern Corridor Road and says that, you know what, this time round I wasn't sleeping. You see one photo of the president, you can see that his glass is quite rolled down and seems to be observing the road and the condition it's in. Okay, there you have it. That's the photo I was talking about. It's interesting to see how the president has been welcomed by the people there. But he addressed chiefs and people of the area, and here's what he had to say after using the road.
Roads throughout our country are in a poor shape. In 2016, when we were on the campaign, I came here. I also went to the Western region, this famous Eastern Corridor. And I said that President Mahamas was saying that the period of his office has seen infrastructural development that we have never seen in Ghana before. Unprecedented infrastructural development. I hope you remember this expression, unprecedented. And then I said, I don't see this unprecedented development. Everywhere I go, I'm on bad roads. He said I was asleep on the road, and that is why I didn't see the good development that had taken place. Today I've come on the Eastern Corridor Road, and I didn't sleep 1 inch. I couldn't sleep. Boom, 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 boom. How can I sleep on these roads? And that's why I want to go out to see for myself what is going on. We're going to fix it. And Wakwata has told you he's going to fix it. We are going to fix it. And it will not be for anybody to say whether somebody is asleep or not asleep. They will see that the road has been fixed. It will not be talk.
Interesting, isn't it? Well, time for a breather now. When I return, we'll be talking all about weddings as the Joy, Beauty and Bridal Fair opens today. And then we talk about the World Cup. Hashtag, it's coming home. Thanks so much for staying here on Joy News Interactive. Let's talk about weddings because the Joy, Beauty and Bridal Fair officially starts today. And veils have become a part of the apparel for weddings. We've been there for a very, very long time. But do you know the essence of the veil, and is it still significant?
Yeah, according to what people are saying, that when they put on the veil, it means you should be a virgin, right? But I think the church and the pastors and the reverend ministers are not being fair to even the couples as well, you understand? Because if the person is not pure and is wearing, she's wearing a white dress and a veil on top, and a minister or a pastor officiates that wedding, then I think the pastor or the minister has a problem. You understand? They are not being fair to their church and the religion as well. And I think that is what I can say.
The significance of the veil, yeah, well, I don't think it's really necessary because, I mean, the person you are going to marry or the person you are going to see, you've already seen the person already, you understand? So I think it is not important. Because when you finally unveil the person, it's the same person you've been dating for about 2 or 3 years, or whatever it is, 2 months or whatever, that you're going to see. So I don't think it's necessary. There's nothing different beyond the veil.
No, they just wear it. They don't see the significance. Because you can see married couple these days, some of them have already known themselves. Some of them have their kids, you know, but they just still wear that veil. Just, I don't know, but they don't really carry the significance, the real significance as it is.
You still find people who are pure now, so the veil is important.
Well, there you have it. Some people sharing their thoughts on the significance of the veil. If you ask me, for a lot of Christians, it signifies, you know, purity, the fact that you've not had any intercourse with your partner yet. But for many other people, it means every other thing, including just a beautiful accessory. So let's get to Facebook and find out what some of you have been saying. Akbalu Akba says the veil became a method to disguise the bride from evil spirits. Oh, I never knew that. And of course, her husband, who wasn't supposed to see his new wife until the deed was done. What's the deed? The unveiling of the bride done by the groom was to symbolize that ownership has changed from her father to her husband. Interesting. Awelana Atadana says, I learned this to show that the woman is a virgin and has not yet seen a man. But now I think it's just to add more beauty to the dress and the whole occasion. I believe it has lost its significance. And Jenny Paula Hemmet says, you are very right. That is the exact essence, but it has truly lost its significance. Papa Abeka says, not really sure, but I know it has lost its purpose. It's interesting, you don't know what it's for, but you're sure, you know, it has lost its purpose. How did you determine that? Anyway, thanks for your comments. Sineus says, is this white wedding necessary at all? He's asking. But the thing about the veil is that even for some people in the Muslim communities who aren't Christian or who don't even do white weddings, the veil is still used. It's a fabric. Sometimes it's a really regular cloth, but the ladies, you know, in a veil. Zakli says V4, that's the significance. Aye. And Salami says, these are the little things we do unconsciously to damage the Ghana city. We create a market for foreign goods and we turn around to accuse government. Are we ready to start changing our taste habits? Ooh. Well, Salami, I just have to tell you that there are people in Ghana who produce veils, so it's not so much about importing veils, but I get your point. Thank you so much. But let's talk about the World Cup now. England. Oh, England. Boy, England. I was supporting England. But they suffered an extra time loss to Croatia, ending the game with a 2-1 score. Here are highlights of the game.
Semi-final night in Moscow as Croatia and England set out each to clear the last hurdle before the World Cup final itself. Beautiful take from Jesse Lingard. Now Dele Alli has had his ankle tapped in position A1 for England. It is Kieran Trippier. It is delicious! Glorious, glorious England goal! Picture perfect! There is not a better strike than that. Ali, Lingard, Harry Kane! And Kane again! Rakitic for Vasilko, aimed in beyond Mandzukic, and fired home by Perisic! Croatia's cravings are satisfied, at least for now! And the semi-final is back where it began. And here is Perisic. Ivan Perisic has hit the post! And England breathe a collective and profound sigh of relief. Croatia won, England won. There will be half an hour more. Trippier takes stones and off the line. Perisic. Aimed in at Mandzukic. What a save by Pickford. He was a brick wall. Pivaric. Walker got there. So though did Perisic. Mandzukic! Croatia hit the front. Mario Mandzukic pounced. And England are hurt. And Croatia, for the first time ever, will play in a World Cup final.
So if you ask me, I think that second goal from the Croatian side was as a result of some sloppy defense over there. But it's fine. And all those of you who are supporting England, it's okay. Yeah, we'll play for third position. Well, this result has seen mixed reactions across the globe. Where do you belong? The happy or sad side? Let's get some Facebook comments. CNews GA says, I knew Croatia would win. England was hyped so much. And for me, I think that's the problem the English football has. Journalists hype their players more than their real value or performance. But it's also worth it to mention that, you know, the England media or English media have also been very quick to encourage and sympathize with their players. Imagine if it was some other country, they may not have been so kind with them. Michael says, how on earth could England bring the trophy home when there were Tottenham players in the team? Ooh. The Croats show that they can grab the trophy come Sunday. I'm happy to support them. And says, Sineo said, I supported Croatia yesterday, but coming Sunday, France would win. Padro says, Croatia deserved this victory. And what made these English lads think it's coming home? I said this once, that the only thing coming home is a cup of English tea. That's not fair. That is not fair. But let's think about this. Nobody gave the English team a chance. I remember very well when the World Cup started, people actually said they had parked their bus at the short-term, parking space because they knew they were not going to stay for long. But they've done it. They've gone to the semis. Give them some credit. TJ says, I was happy Croatia won against England. And someone says, Croatia all the way. Papa Abeka says, England in World Cup semi-finals is like an elephant on top of a tree. You don't know how it got there, but you know it will fall. Oh, wow. And Wright says he's on the happy side, so it means he was supporting Croatia. And Michael Boniadai says, how on earth could England bring the trophy home? All right, okay, so we've done this comment already. So let's go to Twitter and see tweets with hashtag it's coming home, because that was the, call it a slogan for English football fans who were supporting the English team in World Cup. They thought that football was coming home. And at Apochu _ says it's not coming home, but the team is. At Dazel says, guess it's not coming home, is it? UK? She's laughing out loud. Loved it when you guys thought you had it in the bag. Enren Claudino says, well done England, your football coming home is much better and fresher than it was 4 years ago. It is the beginning of a new era. Love from a Brazilian. I love this comment. Yeah, finally someone to support the team. And at Olash Sunkami says, it is coming home, it is coming home, it is coming home. Now we know where home is. At Louis _ Tomlinson says, so one thing is sure now, we'll never see Louis in Croatia. It really is coming home. This one says, I'm still devastated about last night's result, but couldn't be more proud to be represented by that England team. It is coming home in 2022. That's the spirit, a winning spirit, Always find a way to get the positive from the negative. And Julian Staton says, coming home is not bad. It means you went somewhere. I love that. Trust English people to always support their own. And the hype, don't think it will die, because it won't. See how they're turning it to their advantage. Well, at David Barrett says, I'm still absolutely deflated over last night, but the whole England team did us proud. This is truly the beginning of something new. Hashtag England, hashtag 3 Lions. All right, so let's bring you some tweets from the other side. What were people tweeting about Croatia? And at Wilson Lefleur says, congrats, with a population of 4.2 million. Hashtag Croatia is the smallest country in terms of population to reach the World Cup. Final since 1930, let us be inspired. At Kami Middleton says, this World Cup has been brilliant to watch from start to finish. So many upsets, so many good games, so many unreal goals. And to think that Croatia will be in the World Cup final is beyond belief. Send on Sunday. And Croatia has successfully crawled to the finals. Small team, big God. Hashtag World Cup. And that's coming from at Franklin Gaga. And this is from Ricardo Mo, says, in the end, England lost to Croatia will be written in history. And at D.A. Wallet says, well done, Croatia. You have what it takes to win the World Cup. So I chanced on this video on the internet and it's trending. You have to see it. I'm an English supporter, but I thought it was some creativity at work there. Just watch it. Let me credit Bleacher's Report for that particular video, but I don't want to explain too much. If you know, you know. And before we end our interaction today, some sad news we heard earlier. Veteran politician Joseph Henry Mensa, aged 89, has died. J.H. Mensa, a Gold Coaster born in October 1928, is a founding member of the governing New Patriotic Party and served in 3 different ministerial positions under the John Agyekum Kufuor administration. And he was a former minority leader and a majority leader, and held his last top government position in 2005 when he was appointed senior minister by President Kufuor. Here are some reactions to the news of his death on Twitter. At Royal Cafe 2012 says he served his party and country well. He lived the dream and it was a life well lived. R.I.P. Grandpa J.H. Mensa. Akrobia Asante says J.H. Mensa was the first student politician at the University of Ghana to be elected as president of the Junior Common Room of the Legon Hall, the first hall. Hashtag RIP_JH. At 1957 by KOD tweets, J.H. Mensa, a life well lived. I always admired how he carried himself. And finally, at George Nelson says, honorable as always, Grandpa J.H. Mensa, rest in peace. And J.H. Mensa was a brother to Mrs. Theresa Kufuor, wife of former President John Agyekum Kufuor. Our condolences to the family and definitely a life worth celebrating. That's how we end this edition of JoyNews Interactive. I'm Bernice Abubedu. The interaction continues on all our social media platforms, on Facebook and Twitter. We JoyNews on TV. Do enjoy the rest of your day.